Welcome to Opinion Opinion. I am Jazmin, your ever opinionated friend. Joining us today is a well known person. Yes, I met several unrelated people who coincidentally know him. Most likely,
Oh,
you also have a connection who knows Robert Velhagen or Coach Rob. Robert has spent the last 25 years with one of the world's top 10 network marketing companies. He has developed a global team of hundreds of top leaders and tens of thousands of entrepreneurs. In this company, Robert is recognized as one of the top leaders. He was a key figure in helping them transition to a social selling strategy that they are now using this new strategy worldwide. Let us all welcome Coach Rob.
hi, Jazz. Who do you know that knows me? Now I'm so curious.
Several people actually. They don't even know each other, but they know you.
Well, I kind of get around. I hope they had nice things to say.
Oh, yes, of course. Always. Yes. So, our
Yeah.
topic for today is the process of achieving with Coach Rob.
Mm.
Achieving your goals can be challenging, but with the proper guidance and support, it becomes easier to reach your desired outcome. That's where Coach Rob's comes in. Coach Rob is an experienced coach who has helped many individuals achieve success in their personal and professional lives. So, Rob, how did you get started as a coach?
That's a good question. Not willingly, that's for sure. No, I mean, John Maxwell talks about the different levels of leadership and how you become a leader. So the first thing I became a leader when I entered the network marketing company. And part of when you join a network marketing company, you have to build a team. But before I was a leader, before I was a coach, I was a follower. So I was just learning skills, and everyone was learning skills from the same, well, we call them an upline or mentor. And we're all learning sabay sabay. We're all learning together. But one day, my mentor left the country, and I had to step up. I had to step up by default to be the coach, and the leader. So it's not something I ever aspired for because I'm quite the loner when it comes to achieving. I like to achieve by myself. So it took me a while to understand the skills to lead a team and to coach others to their personal greatness.
So, maybe I also want to start with differentiating achievement and success. Maybe you can
Yeah.
shed some light to that.
When you sent me that question, I it took me a while to really think about it, but that's a really good question. Now, just recently, that's why if you guys go to my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, and all that, I've only recently branded myself as an achievement coach because I find that many people lack an understanding of what it takes to achieve. So being a like a sole proprietor or someone who's achieved by myself my whole life, I've gone through the process many, many times. I put up my own comic book when I was young. I learned martial arts, I learned different sports, and there was a particular process I kept following. But I found that as people were coming into my team, most of them have never gone through the achievement process. They've never gone through the process of learning. So there's a lot of emphasis on success. A lot of people talk about being a successful person, but I see that as the end goal, but no one really talks about the process. And when we look at successful people, we just see the ending and we think, oh, they must have had it easy. But part of being a success is going through the achievement process, and the achievement process is tough. And that's why I wanted to focus on the small successes, achieving baby steps, which leads to the end goal, which is success.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So before you get to the
Oh,
big
thank you.
success, before you get to the big success, you go through step by step achieving. So that's great. And can you tell us about, you do have like a four-step process of achieving, right?
I do. I do. I like to break it down. The four steps I put together, and again, this is all based on experience. I'm not a trained coach. I'm a bug coach. I was beat up by life. I was beat up by the process.
By
So,
experience.
what's by experience? I'm bug coach. I was beaten up. I've never had it easy. A lot of people look at me and they say, Rob, wow, you were blessed. You had it easy. Nothing came easy. I had to work hard for everything, and that's why I came up with these 4 steps. The 4 steps or the 4 phases. The first stage is decide. Decide what you want to succeed in. Now, this one, it's the hardest thing for people to do is to decide, because as I've been mentoring people all over the world, or trying to get people to take the first step, even in achieving, most people decide based on fear of failure. I hear that a lot. What if I fail? Diba? Baka mahirap yan. 'Di ba? Kung walang sumali, 'di ba? It's always they make decisions based on the fact that many things can go wrong, but that's really part of success. So what I tell people is, and this is important, make decisions based on the fact that you're going to succeed. That's a big one. Because if you understand the success process, then it's not a question of will I fail. It's not even a question, will I succeed? You know you will succeed. The only question you have to ask yourself is, if I succeed in this, is it worth my time and effort to go through the success process to achieve that goal? So is it worth it? And that's why my whole life, the question was never, will I succeed? It was always, are the rewards here worth my time? That was always my question. Are the rewards here worth my time?
So it's always a decision, right? It's a decision whether you stay where you are or you move forward, right?
It's never fate. I hear a lot of people using the word sana, and I hate that word, sana, because sana means it's not up to you. It's up to some genie. It's up to some outside force. But I never use the word sana, because my fate is really up to me. Your fate is up to you. The end, achieving something is really up to you, and that's the secret I like to give people. It's very empowering when you realize that sana is a worthless word, or I hope is a worthless word, because don't hope, act. Don't wish, work.
For the second step, how do you incorporate learning into your coaching process, and why is it important to achieve success? Because
Nice. Well,
second is
because
learn, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, the person you are, the person that we are at this point is not the person who will achieve the goal that you want to achieve, right? Because if you were, you would have already achieved it. So if you want to achieve something, you have to learn certain skills. You have to go through certain experiences in order to be that type of person to achieve that. So I tell people, find a mentor. So when you decide what it is you want to succeed in, then find someone who has achieved in that thing already. So a good example really is, if you want to be good in golf, then you find a teacher, and then you learn the process. And everyone, golf is a funny one, because you think, oh gosh, all I do is hit a ball. Have you ever seen a new person trying to hit a golf ball?
Oh
They
my
can't
God.
hit it. They can't hit it, right? But
You
that
can't
doesn't
hit it
mean
and
that,
you're
oh,
gonna
I
have body ache, right?
oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't have the skills. When you're trying to swing, your swing is all wrong. When you're about to hit the ball, you move up. So what you have to do is you get a teacher. Find someone who has achieved what you want to achieve, and ask them to teach you. So you find a mentor, then you learn. And learning is, especially for adults, Jazz, learning is painful, it's awkward, it's frustrating, it's infuriating. And I keep saying this whenever I learn something new, and you really shouldn't say these words, but I say them all the time. Whenever you're learning something new, I keep saying, gosh, I'm so stupid, ang tanga-tanga ko, why am I so dumb? You're not supposed to do that, right? But it's
Yeah.
normal when you start saying things like that to yourself. But I do that, and again, you're not supposed to do it. Be kind to yourself. But naturally, I say, why am I so dumb? But then I'm smart enough to know that, okay, this was a lesson. What was I supposed to learn from this, and how can I avoid it in the future? So the things that I used to react to, that I would say, why am I so dumb? I don't anymore, because I gained the experience, and it was painful, it was awkward. And when I was going through the process, I knew I was learning, and it's not enough for me to say, ayoko na. Because when you feel stupid, when you feel dumb, when you feel bobo, then nobody likes to feel that way. So then they retreat and they say, maybe this isn't for me. But if you made a decision on what you want to achieve, then you go through the learning process and eventually hit the goal. So feeling dumb is levels. Like, first I feel bobo at this level, then I get good, then I feel bobo at this level, then I get good. then I feel boba at this level. And then you keep, if you don't feel done, you're not improving.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I like for me, what I learned in the corporate world is that there's a big value with people who loves learning. I mean,
Yeah.
there are things that, some people may come in that they already know certain things, certain skills, but then you can always teach people who would love to learn, right? Those whose minds are not closed. So moving on, can you give an example of how you encourage your mentees to take action and do to achieve their goals?
Yeah, that's a really good question. First of all, I never encourage anyone really. I look for those who are motivated and self-driven, because that's what it takes. I cannot lead. I mean, I can show people the way to success, but I can't let them do the work every day. But the number one thing I do to motivate really, Jazz, is I lead by example. Like if I'm teaching sales, I'm selling. If I'm teaching recruiting, I'm recruiting. If I'm teaching how to earn money, I'm earning money. If I'm teaching how to live a good life, I'm living a good life. So as a mentor, remember, I say find people who have achieved what you want to achieve. So I live by example, and I only teach what I've done. Like I said, I'm book coach. No, that's the first time I've said that term, but I was book by experience, and I came out the winner. And so I teach from reality. I teach from my history. And is everything I'm saying correct? Who knows? Is everything I'm saying wrong? Who knows? But it's what I went through. It's what I learned. And if it helps you, then good. If it doesn't help you, that's all right.
Yeah, and I guess like for me, the best teacher is also your mistakes. At least you tried and then you learn from your mistakes and then you move up. You don't do that again. Right?
Well, sometimes you do it again, and sometimes you do it again and again. And what I find is the hardest lessons are the ones where, we keep repeating the same mistake until we learn the lesson. But sometimes we don't get to learn the lesson the first time around.
Oh
So
yeah,
you
not
hope you
right
don't do
away.
it again, but chances are you're going to do it again and again and again and again. And maybe one day you don't do it again. I don't know.
So by doing it again and again, there's this type of resilience that you also teach your mentees, right? So the persistence and resilience. So how important is that all throughout the process of achieving?
Well, okay, so the first step is decide based on the fact that you're going to succeed. Learn from those who have succeeded before you. Do what they tell you to do, and then do what you tell you to do. What they tell you to do. Simply follow what they teach you. But number four is to persist. To persist. So resilience simply means keep going until you achieve your goal. Most people, when you haven't decided on a goal, when you hope for a goal or a dream, it's easy to quit. When things get hard, you quit. But when you've decided, that means this is it. There's no choice. So you keep going until you achieve it. So to persist is everything. There's a saying, Jazz, that I tell my mentees. I say going through struggles, going through hardships, going through challenges doesn't make you special. Why do I say that? Because I see people when they've hit a certain amount of success, or when they're going through it, there's all this like, bakit ako? Kawawa me? Ang kawawa ko naman. And there's a lot of self-pity, and they think that the universe is conspiring against them, or they feel like, fate is doing things to put them down or something like that. I said, you're not special. This happens to everyone. What makes people special is how they overcome. So going through hardships does not make you special. How you overcome it is what makes you special, right? So if you're going through hardships, don't think it's unique to you. It's common to everybody. So
Yeah.
understand how to deal with hardships and struggles and challenges. My gosh, I'm watching Elon Musk right now on Twitter. The guy's the richest man in the world. And he's going through a lot of hardships right now with Twitter, with Tesla, with SpaceX. When he sees his rocket ships blow up, he's like, oh, I learned something new. you know,
With how many million down the drain?
Absolutely. Big
Yeah.
lessons, big lessons. So to persist, I don't like to use the word don't quit, because if you watch The Secret, that's a negative reinforcement. The universe just hears quit. I don't even use that word, the QUIT. I use it now as an example, but it's not part of my daily vocabulary. But a lot of people do stop. Okay. And what makes them stop is when they don't understand the success process, which is why I'm trying to be very clear about the success process. So people understand that if you're going through hardships, it's not a sign of failure. That's another word I don't like to use. Failure. I always tell people there's no such thing as failure. There's only giving up. Because if you're persisting, you'll get there. Or even if you don't get there, maybe you get 50%, 60%, 80%. You know, people don't say, "Hey, I'm a failure." No, I say, you've achieved 80% of your target. Then that's pretty good. Like when you say, "I want to make $1 million," but you only hit 800,000, are you a failure? No, 80%. You're 80%
Yeah.
there.
It's a matter how people would deal with things, how they would see it, right? If you dwell on the negative, you also attract the negative, right? That's what you're saying about The Secret. So
Yeah.
it's a matter of persistence and resilience. How about with your mentees? Have you seen any common obstacles or
Yeah.
challenges that they face while undergoing the process of achieving, and how do you help them overcome it?
Yeah. The most common one really is managing emotions. So when they have, okay, you have to understand when people quit or they feel like a failure or when they stop going for the goal, it's always this. There's an event, okay? There's an event or something happened that made them doubt that they will achieve their goal, right? Either a family challenge or someone said something, but there's something that makes them doubt that they will achieve their goal. Now, if you know how to achieve goals and you understand that success is predictable and you understand the success process, it's normal, right? So when they have that doubt, that means they never really understood the success process in the first place. So the way I try to prevent that is from the beginning, I let people understand the success process, which is my advocacy right now. I want people to know what it takes to achieve. And when you understand the achievement process, then when someone says, "Why are you doing that? Why? I don't, parang mali yata yan. Or may bibili ba? Wala yatang bibili. When people do that, then you just, "Oh, I know what I'm doing." Right? Then you have the confidence.
And I guess, it also goes with the Filipino culture, like especially you have titas or titos who would be very frank, like you've been dieting and working out, and then pagkakita sa'yo, ang taba mo.
Parang malalim ang hugot na yan.
Ah, feel na
Yeah.
feel ko yun.
Well, no, I mean, those are relationships where you just avoid those people, and that generation would give them the respect, even though if it's not reciprocated. But you limit your exposure. You have to limit your exposure to people that make you feel bad about yourself, because you have to really protect your mindset. So, like I was saying, you're really not supposed to say to yourself, "Ang bobo ko, ang tanga-tanga ko," but it happens, right? Like when you're learning something new, like now I'm learning a new sport, and I'm getting used to the racket, I'm getting used to the wall, and then when I make a mistake, I'm like, I am so dumb. But then what I do is I get a trainer, I practice where I made the mistakes, and then I get good, and then after that I'm not terrible at that particular type of stroke, but then I'll try and improve, I'll try and get better, and then I'll make higher end mistakes, and then I'll say, "Ang tanga-tanga ko," but then you go through the process again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can actually relate to that because when I was into sports, I'm also the hardest on myself. I mean, is that a good or a bad thing? Because I'm like, no one else can beat my time, but I'm so hard with myself that I can't beat my time anymore. I should be able to do better.
Well, yeah, there's a level where it's healthy and there's a level where it's not. So there's a balance, and that's an individual thing I'll have to work on with someone.
Yeah.
But in general, it's a matter of always wanting to improve, but also appreciating the small successes that you have.
That's true. That's
So I mean,
true.
even just the fact that I'm branding myself as an achievement coach, I think it's quite unique. I don't know of any achievement coaches. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I've been talking to so many people and they don't understand the process. Or I talk to the youth, right? And I want to explain to them what it takes to win. And many don't have an understanding of what it
Is
takes to
there
win.
such a big generational gap when it comes to motivating the younger crowd to say in an older age group?
Well, we're at fault. I mean, it is what it is. They're like that because of us. I don't know why it happened. We just wanted to give that generation what we didn't have. And now we're kind of happy that our parents were so hard on us. And we think maybe we should have been hard on our kids. But
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? But I'm just offering this insights. So hopefully it'll help someone.
So, Rob, is there a specific timeline or plan of achieving a goal? And if so, how does one stick to that timeline?
That's a good question. Um, when I was starting out in my network marketing career, we were taught to write, or even in my sales career, we were taught to write down goals with the timeline. And I find that when people don't hit the timeline, then they say, I failed, I quit, right? But when you don't put a timeline, you just make it your goal, then you just keep going until you hit your goal. So there's two, I mean, there's certain things that I put a timeline to, like, let's say if you're in sales, like in a day, I'll do 10 sales calls or something like that. If you're in real estate, I'll do X amount of trippings, right? So those are goals on the activity, which will help you achieve your goal. But a timeline on the goal itself, I mean, it's nakaka-pressure. For some people, that's good. But for other people, when they don't hit the timeline, they feel that they failed. I'm like,
Yeah.
who put that timeline anyway? It was you. So are you going to be the reason why you don't hit your goal? Don't. Just don't put a date. And when you get there, you get there.
So if it
Make
works for
sense?
you, yeah, if it works for
Kanya-kanya.
you to put that timeline, right? To pressure
Yeah. I
yourself
mean,
on that.
sometimes I
Ako
do,
kasi I
sometimes
do
I
like
don't.
goals that are specific and measurable. Kasi 'di ba, parang
Mm.
at least you know the exact thing that you are aiming for. So at least you know your path to that goal as well, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a double-edged sword. I've seen that motivate people, but I've also seen that be the reason why people quit,
I'm
you know?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they said, I didn't hit it on the time I said, I'm a failure, I'm out, you know?
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I don't like using the Q word and the F word. I really don't like using those words.
Nakaka-intriga yung mga letters na.
F is failure, Q is quit. I don't even like saying them. It's really not part of my vocabulary.
Yeah, which is good because I mean, it's better that people would try to go with a more positive term. Like I remember, I remember when I was young, people would tell me, if you don't have money in your wallet, don't tell people you don't wala kang pera. Just say, not so much right now or something like that. So it's like
Uh, uh,
because when you say wala, you attract wala, right?
I'll give you two better lines. One is, all my funds are allocated right now.
Oh,
Okay. So,
nice.
yeah. The other one is, I'm currently not liquid because
Yes,
all my
yes.
assets are. I mean, all my funds are allocated right now. So that's a good one.
I think I have used the I'm not liquid right now before. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not liquid right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So take note, viewers, those are better terms that you can use instead of saying wala kang pera.
Or here's another good word, Jazz. No. Can I borrow money? No. You don't have to
Yes.
give reasons, right? Can you do this for me? No. I mean, okay, so part of the lessons I give, I teach people how to say no because I tell people once you've decided what you want to achieve, then you have to plan your day based on what it is you want to achieve. So you have to allocate your time priorities 70% on your top priority, 20% on the second priority, 10% on the third. So if you're trying to achieve something big, then you put 70% or 65, 60, whatever it is. And you have to be very careful with your time. So if people are asking you do things that aren't aligned with your top priorities, then you say no.
That's true. And time really is gold, and it is something that you cannot bring back. I mean,
You
you can
cannot.
earn back money, but you cannot bring back time, right? So
Yeah.
when should one consider having an achievement coach, and how does having an achievement coach help reach your goals?
Okay. Well, my role as an achievement coach is to give the general idea like what we're doing now. It's not something where I handhold someone through the process, right? I handhold people through my network marketing business and through sales and all that because those are specific skills. Those are specific skills. But the whole thing about achieving, I've said everything I know already practically. Just understand that success is predictable, achievement is predictable. Decide based on the fact that you want to succeed, get a mentor, go through the hard process, and keep putting in the work until you achieve. So persist. I do think though that this lesson should be taught in grade school. I do think that people don't understand it enough. But when should you get an achievement coach? When you decide that you want to achieve something really, and you're dead set on achieving it. But more than what I've said now, I mean, I can go into little details, but that's a general idea. So my goal really is to let people know that if you want to achieve something, go through that process. It'll be hard. It'll be hard. So when I approach people for an opportunity and they tell me, baka naman mahirap yan. Ah, man, I don't want to work with that person anymore. That
Yeah.
shows me that, when it gets tough, you're gonna get going. You know what I mean? I mean, get going out the door, not get going to your goal. So I look for people who say, tell me what I need to do. Teach me what I need to do. Okay. That's my favorite question. Coach, can you teach me how? Coach, how do I? Right? So there.
How about
That's
yung ako kasi may ugali ako, yung alam mo yun, winging it muna. Winging it, and then, okay, then tell me what I did wrong and how I can improve. How about coaching people who are like that, who'd like to do it first and commit mistakes?
That's fine. But imagine Josh, right? Poker, I know you understand poker, right? So if someone says, "Hey, I want to play with you guys," great. Okay, this is how to play the game. No, no, no. Let me just play. Teach me the rules after. you know? So I mean it's better when you get someone who says, "Okay, can you teach me the rules?" and then teach me some strategy and then you play. All right. But it's fun to play when you don't know anything. Maybe you just know the hierarchy of the hands. And which is when I met you, I didn't know how to play really. I just knew the hierarchy of the hands because of Dos Pusoy. But I had fun. I was entertained, but I lost the
We
games
also
and I
had
lost
fun,
money.
Rob. We got your money.
Yeah, you got my money exactly. But for me, that was cost of entertainment, right? I was having fun, meeting people. I enjoyed. And if I said, "Hey, listen, I want to get good at this," then I would get a teacher, then I would practice, then I would put in the hours, and I would get good, right? But I never wanted to get good at poker because I was there more for the company than the
Yeah. It's the
the the,
party.
the skill. Well, it's the company, nice people, and all that. So like that, no. So I asked myself, is me putting the time here worth? If I get good at poker, what's the benefit to me? And then, so should I put the time to learn? And my answer was no. No, I'm not here to get good at poker. I'm here to enjoy people's company. In the racket sport, I'm playing paddle. I'm learning just to be competent enough to play. But do I want to get to tournament level? No, no, I don't. I'm in the gym. I'm working out. Do I want to be a Mr. Olympia? No, I just want to get fit, lose weight a bit. But when it comes to my business, I'm super competitive, and I have a goal, and this is where I put 70% of my effort and time. So you pick, you prioritize.
Yes, that's true. Before we end the episode, do you have
Okay.
any message or advice to our viewers?
Yeah, yeah, I do. Understand that success is predictable. Okay, I'll say that again. Success is predictable. There's a process, and it is hard. Winning is hard. All right. Uh, to achieve is difficult, and you have to do what other people are not willing to do. You have to go through the hard process. And it all starts out with deciding on what it is that you really want to succeed in. So I'll go through it again. Decide based on the fact that you will succeed. Learn from those who have succeeded before you. Do what they tell you to do and persist until you hit your goal. And that's all you got to do.
That's very nice. Thank you very much for a motivating discussion, Rob. I hope that we were able to inspire more people to keep on achieving with this episode. Remember the keywords, guys: decide, learn, do, and persist. Am I correct, Rob?
I think so. I hope I said it enough times. Yeah. From Bugbog Coach.
Yes. But that's the best way to learn and how to teach people through experience, right? Thank you to our viewers. And then you can reach out to Coach Rob on Facebook, IG, Twitter as well, at Coach Rob Velhagen.
Yeah, we'll put the exact links below because I haven't memorized all of them yet because
Yes.
they're fairly new. But what I'll be putting out are short reels every day, different tips that might help you and guide you. And for now, it'll just be short reels and tips. But I truly, truly hope that this video gave you some benefit in some way. I hope it gave you a bit of an understanding of what it takes to achieve the goal that you want to achieve. Take the word sana out of your vocabulary, right? And understand
Bawal na
that the
magsana
power.
all.
No, pwede yun. Because sana all is really a wish, right? That's a wish. And but when you're thinking, sana yumaman ako, there's no sana. Sana pumayat ako. No, well, yan ang sana. I'm really hoping for a miracle. No, sana, whatever, no? Sana magkabahay na ako, sana magkakotse na ako. When you use the word sana, you give away your power to other people. Take control and understand the achievement process and take control, and you can do it yourself. You control it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rob. This is Jazmin signing off. Bye, guys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Opinion would like to hear from our dear listeners. Send us your questions, suggestions, or what you think about this episode. Email us at opinionopinion@gmail.com. Follow, like, and subscribe on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Our podcasts are published on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.